It's peaceful out here. Quiet. It's the kind of peace that some people search for their entire lives. But if you'd have met me 8 years ago, you wouldn't recognize this man. You wouldn't see Midlife Simon walking through a forest in rural Ireland. You'd see a 35-year-old addict who had convinced himself that his story was over. In fact, I actually tried to end it. I'm not supposed to be here. That night, a stranger saved my life. And it took me 8 long years of climbing out of that hole to realize something crucial. Rock bottom wasn't the end for me. It was just the only solid foundation strong enough to build this new life on. So, yes, I was an addict. I was addicted to drugs. I felt isolated even though I had a family, and I was so depressed and so strung out that I thought the best thing to do would be to end it all. And that stranger who saved me that night, he was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. Being an addict, or recovering addict, I decided to move back to London. I'd moved away, you see, I was living far, far away, and I decided to go back to London and move in with my mum, who was actually dying of cancer. And a few months after moving home, my mum actually passed away, and it was really tough. My mum was everything to me. She was the most amazing woman, and she was always there for me no matter what trouble I got into, no matter what stupid stuff I was getting up to in my life. She was my rock. And when she passed away, it was tough, but I could have very easily used that as an excuse to throw myself back into the world that I had just come out of. And maybe I really wouldn't have been here talking to you today if that had happened. But what I did instead was used it as a point of motivation. And that was really the start of rebuilding my life. But like I said, it took me 8 long years. I got myself a job working for a well-known UK bakery chain, and I worked my way up from the very bottom to being a store manager in 4 or 5 years. And then I changed careers slightly, and I moved on to working in a delicatessen and was the manager of that as well. But it wasn't easy, but I just threw myself into work. Every single day I worked as hard as I could and pushed myself forward more and more and more. And like I say, it's not easy, and times get tough. And when life throws curveballs at you, you have to learn to deal with them. But just because life throws curveballs at you, it doesn't mean that you have to use it to go back to a worse life. You can use it to give yourself motivation and push yourself harder and harder, which is exactly what I did. I set myself a goal. So when I first started in this bakery chain, I was just bottom of the rung, standard team member, and I worked as hard as I could, and I got noticed for that, and they promoted me fairly quickly. Within a couple of months I became a team leader, or supervisor if you like. And then they moved me to a different store that needed that position badly, and I brought that store up a little bit, and I made it make more money just by following what the company expected of me. So again, that made me get noticed even more. And so they promoted me once again to store manager, and I moved store again. And when I took over that other store as the manager, that's when things really started to move for me. I started to see myself in a different light. And trust me, I had never, ever in all my life seen myself as being a manager of anything. A manager of people, a manager of stores, a manager of a business, nothing like that. Nothing at all. But I did it. I made it. Because I was determined that I was going to turn my life around and give myself a better life. And then I found my fiance, who I'm currently with, and she helped ground me even more. And she doesn't take any of my bullshit, and she doesn't let me make excuses. She helps me to push myself further. And after a few years of living with me in London, she decided she wanted to go home. And so I gave up everything I had and moved out here with her. And honestly, it's been great. And now I have a new job out here. I'm a butcher. In some people's eyes, it's nothing special. But I absolutely love this job. And it's, again, helping me to see myself in a different light. And I have so much self-worth now. I believe in myself, and I'm happy, and I'm content. If I could go back and talk to my 35-year-old self, this is what I would say. You're stronger than you realise. You really are. And you can make it out of this. There's more hardships to come, but you will make it through, because this isn't the end of your story. This is just the beginning. And around the corner is a beautiful woman waiting for you, and a beautiful, fulfilling life. And that's what I want to say to any man out there who's feeling like they're at the end of their story. It really doesn't have to be the end of your story. And if you are struggling, please, please talk to somebody. Please, because I didn't. And it nearly all came crashing down one night. If it wasn't for that stranger on the bridge, man, I wouldn't be here talking to you now. And mental health is so important in this day and age. It affects so many people, and there are resources out there. There's the Samaritans, there are mental health workers. Go and talk to your GP. There are many avenues you can take to change your mindset and better your mental health. There's an app out there called BetterHelp, and this is not sponsored by them in any way, shape or form. But I know a lot of people who have used their services, and it's helped them greatly. And it's online. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to confront people face to face and share your problems in a room, which can be quite intimidating for a lot of people. There's the Samaritans, who do some amazing work. And when my mum was going through depression years before her illness, they really helped her and sorted her out, and she got herself into a better life because of them. Now, unfortunately, I didn't talk to many people. I didn't unload my problems, and it was the worst thing I could have done. If only I'd have talked to somebody, things might have got better a lot quicker. And that's what I urge to any man who's struggling today. Please talk to someone, and please know that there is a better life waiting around the corner. You can do it, and you are strong. I know it's hard and you can't see a light at the end of the tunnel right now, but trust me, it's there waiting for you. You just have to want it, and you just have to reach out, and you can achieve it. So if anything in this video today has touched you or given you a bit of hope, that's all I need. But please, please talk to somebody. And if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another upload, where I'll be talking more about mental health, my stories, my past, and how I've overcome things. Failures in life doesn't actually mean failures. They're just learning curves. They show you what not to do, and you just have to learn those lessons and adapt them to the rest of your life moving forward. For now, I just want to say, stay safe, keep a positive mental attitude. Light is at the end of the tunnel. You will get there. Thanks. See you in the next one.